Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching News 9. This is the AI Report. I'm Kartik Malhotra, and every week on the AI Report, we tell you all that's hot in the world of artificial intelligence and all the stories that made it to headlines and where they are headed from here on. Well, this was an exciting week because Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamn tabled the Economic Survey 2025-26 in Parliament on Jan 29th, and it came with some warnings with respect to artificial intelligence. Now, according to the Economic Survey, a worst-case scenario, global scenario driven by artificial intelligence could trigger a systemic shock with consequences worse than the 2008 global financial crisis, posing a direct threat to India's AI-driven white-collar job engine. Now, this low probability but high impact scenario assigned a 10 to 20% probability chance by the Economic Survey envisions a cascading failure where technological overreach, geopolitical escalation and financial stress collide. Now, the Economic Survey flags a specific vulnerability in the AI-heavy infrastructure sector where business models rely on long-duration capital, narrow customer bases and ambitious timelines. Now, jobs haven't vanished overnight according to the Economic Survey, but the employment response to output growth is now flatter. The result is a quiet drift in labor demand to roles tied to information retrieval, summarization and routine cognitive work. Now, what is at risk for India? Well, India's traditional models providing low-cost IT services to global firms are a risk highlighted in the Economic Survey. Well, with that, let's move on to some other headlines that we have tracked for you in the world of artificial intelligence in the week gone by.
The European Commission launched an investigation into Grok. It's looking at whether Elon Musk's AI chatbot spreads illegal content in the EU, including manipulated sexualized images. It will see whether X properly assessed and lowered risks related to Grok's functionalities in the bloc. X referred to a statement issued earlier this month where it said XAI had restricted image editing for Grok AI users. Nvidia boss Jensen Huang waved off fears about an AI bubble, and he encouraged everybody to get involved with the technology during a talk at the World Economic Forum in Davos.
The AI bubble comes about because the investments are large, and the investments are large because we have to build the infrastructure necessary for all of the layers of AI above it. And so I think the opportunity is really quite extraordinary, and everybody ought to get involved.
He also pushed back on concerns about AI taking human jobs, and instead said it will create lots of jobs, especially for those in trades like plumbing and construction. Intel shares plunged towards the end of last week. Investors sold off after the company struggled to meet strong AI demand for data center chips. It blamed that on supply constraints. The firm is a latecomer to the AI boom and had finally enjoyed a demand surge. Samsung aims to start production of its next-gen high-bandwidth memory chips, or HBM4. That's what a source told Reuters, who added the South Korean firm plans to supply them to Nvidia. Samsung has tried to catch up with local rival SK Hynix, which is a key supplier for advanced memory chips crucial for Nvidia's AI accelerators. And Microsoft unveiled its second generation of in-house AI chips. It took aim at one of Nvidia's main competitive advantages with developers. The new Maya 200 semiconductor comes online this week. It comes as major cloud computing firms like Microsoft, Amazon and Google produce their own chips, which are increasingly competing with Nvidia.
So, of course, these were the new announcements in the world of artificial intelligence, but they say numbers speak louder than words. And in fact, it was also a week when big tech in the US decided to declare their quarterly earnings as well as the full financial year earnings, and markets did not really rejoice to what they saw as part of numbers. Take a look.
Big tech earnings so far this week have sent a clear warning. Investors are willing to overlook soaring spending on artificial intelligence if it fuels strong growth, but are quick to punish companies that fall short. The contrast was clear in Thursday's stock market reaction to earnings from Microsoft and Meta. The Facebook and Instagram parent jumped as much as 11% Thursday morning on strong sales, while Microsoft slumped 12% after its cloud business failed to impress. Meta has said it is benefiting from AI-bolstered ad targeting. That contributed to a 24% boost in quarterly revenue and a rosy first quarter forecast. The results show that its gains from AI were helping fund its capital spending, which is expected to jump as much as 87% to $135 billion this year. Microsoft benefited from its first-mover advantage with its investment in ChatGPT maker OpenAI to become the world's most valuable firm in 2024. But that has morphed into a possible drawback as OpenAI faces increased competition, including from Google's Gemini, which has won over massive customers such as Apple. Now Microsoft is under growing investor pressure to justify its soaring capital outlay. Microsoft reported revenue growth in its Azure cloud computing business that was only slightly above expectations. But despite Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella's insistence that AI remains in the early innings, the company spent more than $200 billion on the technology since the start of its fiscal 2024, and investor patience is waning.
And with that, we will slip into a very short break, but a lot more coming up on the other side of the break, where we will discuss Elon Musk's potential pivot altogether from electric vehicles to artificial intelligence. That on the other side of the break. You are watching the AI Report. Welcome back. You are watching the AI Report right here on News 9. Well, Elon Musk has decided to finally put an end to his Tesla Model S and Model X production. This after the long agony of lackluster sales and declining interest in the aging EVs. And then, of course, came the results which showed for the first time the Tesla EV cars. And in fact, Tesla as a company as a whole has seen a 3% decline in revenue for the financial year gone by. Now, these two car models were a rage a decade ago. That was when Tesla emerged as a market disruptor and ignited imaginations, and also became a symbol for inspiration for an entire generation. And then, of course, came the downslide. The EVs have seen no real engineering changes and only minor cosmetic adjustments since. This eventually led to the sales collapsing, and now Tesla decided to end these cars in disgrace, one would call it. Now, according to the official statement, production will end in the second quarter to make room for artificial intelligence. That's right, Elon Musk is likely to pump in as much as $2 billion and use the existing assembly lines of the Model S and the Model X to produce the Optimus robos in its Fremont plant. Now, of course, this story also tells us that the demise of these cars would be offset by this accelerated preparation for large-scale production of the third-generation Optimus robo. So Tesla is expected to unveil the third-generation Optimus in the first quarter of this year. This version is designed specifically for mass production and is likely to be the model customers will eventually purchase. Now, the updated robo reportedly features several improvements over the current 2.5 iteration, including the latest hand design aimed at improving dexterity and task handling. So what does this mean for the AI ecosystem? And more importantly, what does this mean for the pivot that we are seeing in Elon Musk's aspirations? Well, we have with us News 9's international editor, in fact, TV9 Network's editor international, R Sridharan, joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for your time. And what a pleasure having you here with us again. First up, just talk to us about this pivot that we are seeing. Of course, the story initially starts with the Model S and the Model X of Tesla. But it seems that this pivot, especially given the kind of competition we are seeing from BYD in China for the first time in 2025, overtaking Tesla as the largest EV maker, this pivot, is it likely to be limited to Model S and Model X? Or do you see Tesla as a company pivoting completely from EVs to artificial intelligence?
So Kartik, this is not just about the discontinuation of two cars which essentially contribute only 3% to Tesla's car sales.
Right.
This is more about a reinvention, the dawn of a new era at Tesla, I would say, because this is in line with the vision which Musk has enunciated for Tesla,
right, and
the $1 trillion pay package which he's negotiated with his shareholders over a 10 years period. So this is the start of that journey.
Right.
So what the $1 trillion pay package really talks about is Elon Musk being able to hit 20 million in EV sales, a million robotaxis on the road, and 1 million Optimus sold,
That's right.
and EBITDA of about $400 billion.
Right.
So this, to my mind, is the start of that long journey. It's a big challenge, and it's a big bet that Elon Musk is making.
Yeah.
This could either turn out to be the greatest pivot in the history of corporate America or
Yeah.
anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
or the biggest disaster that one could think of.
Absolutely. So two extreme scenarios
Absolutely.
likely to play out. Either one of them would eventually play out, because I think one would agree that whatever Elon Musk does, he does it with a bang, and it's either going to fade out into something absolutely silly, or it's going to explode into something massive, which is
Go
going to be
big or go
revolutionary.
bust.
Absolutely. Go big or go bust. But he's also had other launches from the Tesla stable, and many of those actually did not really survive the kind of enthusiasm that they had launched with. I'm talking about the Cybertruck, for example.
Right.
So the Cybertruck continues to sell in the US, but we've seen the kind of backlash that customers have given Tesla over the Cybertruck, and the Model Y, which has been introduced in many markets, including Europe and also in India, even though, if numbers serve me correct, India received or was able to buy a total of just 141 odd cars.
Like very
But
small,
the
isn't it?
Cybertruck and the Model Y continue to drive on in roads across the world. So this pivot, is that going to eventually lead to maybe a gradual phasing out of these two electric vehicle models as well?
No, I don't think so, because Kartik, what's going to happen is, while Tesla may move away from its positioning as an EV, car maker to seller to passengers or buyers, it needs those cars to fulfill its robotaxi dream, because the plan initially at Tesla is to own these cars that they put on the road. Because what Elon Musk is really trying to do is to move away from being an EV car maker to an AI product company.
Right.
So then it means owning the AI platform on which these cars are going to run. So he's going to get far more data than, let's say, a Waymo has, or even an Uber has.
Right.
So that's where the value is going to come from. And the journey is, of course, perilous. What happens when you stop selling and these fleets are on your own books?
Right.
So it's going to be a big financial challenge for Tesla. Sales will drop, in the transition that happens.
Right.
So it's going to be a challenging phase for Tesla. And I think but I think investors, at least the shareholders of Tesla, seem confident. If there's anyone who can make this, make a tanker, an oil tanker, turn on a dime, it's possibly Elon Musk.
It's possibly Elon Musk. But talk to us, Sri, also about, you mentioned and very accurately that Tesla is pivoting from an electric vehicles company to an AI products company. And we've seen in the EV space the kind of beating it got from BYD in 2025. And now in the robotic space as well, there is a Unitree and God knows how many other Chinese
Dynamics,
companies there which are working on robotic technologies which could pretty much disrupt all the ambitions that Elon Musk is coming with when it comes to AI and XAI particularly.
So what differentiates Elon Musk from other entrepreneurs and his view of, way of doing business from others, Kartik, is this. He picks up huge, big, hairy problems which are at human scale. So these are truly disruptive ideas that he picks up and he executes on them.
Right.
So whether it's reusable rockets with SpaceX, or like what he's done with the lithium-ion batteries now.
True.
So he's gone and developed a technology which is sustainable, which is eco-friendly.
Right.
So China is again being beaten on that front. So he's the man who has consistently demonstrated that he can pick up these seemingly impossible challenges and make them happen.
Right.
So I think with EV, he's probably got a little bored because EVs are also facing a lot of headwind.
Right.
The subsidies that used to be on EVs are gone. BYD, like you mentioned, is giving Tesla a run for its money.
Right.
And despite all the investment that you're making in the recharging networks and everything, people still have this range anxiety when they own
electric
these
vehicles.
EVs.
True.
So these are all factors which have come together. But fundamentally, I think Elon Musk really wants to reinvent the company because he thinks that's the next big problem he needs to solve.
And his
it's not
journey
just
to
about
the
putting
next
EVs on the road.
And his journey to the next $1 trillion paycheck over the next 10 years after this period elapses.
Right, because he talks in terms of this, era of abundance based on this AI, Optimus robots.
Absolutely.
So that's essentially the dream that he's now chasing.
Right. So another dream that he was chasing, and fairly successfully as that some would argue, was the SpaceX and reusable rockets, which you just just mentioned some time back. Now, again, that is a sector which is threatened by China because China has its own very, very ambitious targets for space exploration as well as satellites. But, another news that emerged last week, Sri, was that SpaceX could go in for a listing by, middle of this year, mid-May or June is what we are talking about. Right. And then there was another Bloomberg report which emerged on Thursday saying that potentially Elon Musk would look at SpaceX merging into Tesla, and this becomes one large mammoth of an organization which has ambitions in EV, in space exploration, as well as in artificial intelligence. Do you see some sort of a synergy in the advent of perhaps all of these units coming together as one?
Well, if you look at the direction in which technology is going, there is apparent synergy, but I think the businesses are entirely different. The AI products company, which is what Tesla will become, whereas SpaceX, it's a pure rocket company with a vision to get into Mars and all those things. But I think it's safe to say that, Kartik, when the IPO comes, this will probably be the mother of all IPOs because I think the last discovered secondary sale that happened for SpaceX was at a valuation of about $800 billion. And there are a lot of reports that the IPO, when it comes, will be at a valuation of $1.5 trillion. And the proceeds that they get from the IPO will be $50 billion, making it more than double the largest IPO that we've seen in the history of corporate world, which is the Saudi Aramco IPO we saw. So, Elon Musk never ceases to surprise me, and I wouldn't want to bet against the man at this stage.
Okay, no bets against Elon Musk. At this stage, I think, that is the clincher here. Sri, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much for this lovely discussion. Thank you. And with that, we will slip into another very short break, but a lot more coming up on the other side of the break. Because if you thought AI was restricted only to computers and cell phones and potentially robots, think again, because there are AI-enabled toilets and AI-enabled mattresses doing the rounds as well. That and more on the other side of the break. You are watching the AI Report. And you are watching the AI Report right here on News 9. Well, artificial intelligence is making complex technological progresses simpler, cheaper, and more seamless. That's right. It is changing industry like none had imagined even a decade ago. But there are places you may not have expected AI to be or to go, right into your bed and into your baths. Well, the fact is that it has indeed penetrated those private places as well. Now, there's an AI-powered mattress that learns from your sleep pattern and automatically fine-tunes itself without you lifting a finger. This means real-time firmness adjustments, personalized temperature regulation, and snoring detection that adapts as you sleep. Well, we have Amit, Ranjan, Kumar joining us on the broadcast this morning. Amit is executive editor at News 9, who has these fascinating stories from the world of AI that you would have never imagined about. So let's take these stories one by one, Amit, shouldn't we? So first up, this mattress, who is making it and how much does it cost? Because you don't have to do a thing. The mattress will ensure that you sleep better and snore lesser.
This is straight out of a science fiction movie of a decade ago.
Okay.
Since AI is a company that is marketing these mattresses in India, it is available online, and right now you can get it for 2.6 lakhs of rupees, a king size mattress.
Okay.
You have memory foam that adjusts itself while you are sleeping. So it takes, and then you have mattresses where you can set the temperatures. In this one, you don't lift a finger. It learns while you sleep. It takes your postures, learns from the postures that where you snore, and shifts you to the postures where you do not snore. If that's not enough, it takes your heartbeat in postures where it rises up and shifts your body to postures where your heartbeat comes into equilibrium.
Okay.
It adjusts the temperature of the mattress according to your body temperature. Over time, it even learns at what body temperature while you are sleeping, you are less reactive, and it adjusts itself over that. So
Fantastic.
All of that, in the one company that is in India, Sense AI, this mattress is on the market if you're willing to spend 2.6 lakhs of rupees.
Okay, 2.6 lakh rupees. That doesn't sound all that high compared to, in any case, the memory foam mattresses, which are so expensive. But, the mattress is trying to ensure that you sleep better. Now, you were talking about science fiction some time back. I want to take that imagination a little forward. Is there a way that this artificial intelligence-driven mattress can also ensure that I see better dreams and no nightmares, or that is too much of fiction?
Probably that's the next level.
Okay.
That is the next level. And the previous segment was about Elon Musk. I think he's the person who can basically make it happen also.
All right, sweet dreams is the word really coming up when it comes to AI-driven mattresses. But for our viewers, there are researchers who have also developed an EEG cap that uses specifically developed AI models. It's called D-Wave to capture and decode thoughts and convert them into text. So I want to understand from you, Amit, what is EEG and what is this cap all about, and is it out there in the market already?
Yeah, okay. So there are two kinds. EEG is a technical term which is electromagneto gyration
like
something.
ECG, it's an ECG
Yeah,
of the
EEG.
brain. Sure.
It is non-invasive. On India Mart, in India, these caps are available from 13,000 rupees up to the north of
So
2
this
lakhs
is
of
wearables
rupees.
gone pretty
Yeah.
much, another level up.
Another level. But the ones that are available on India Mart, they come with a whole lot of wiring.
All right.
And all they do is they test your brain activity while you're doing complex tasks. So it is basically a medical sort of thing, which is non-invasive.
Okay.
The next level of EEG caps, which is not in production on the market right now, but in experimentation stages, are the ones, and the experiments have been successful to the extent they can map your thoughts and put it down in text.
All
So
right.
it's basically telepathy becoming reality. When
I
these-
wonder how dangerous that is, because I'm not sure I want to tell everybody what I'm thinking about at every point.
You have already accepted the implant that Elon Musk has put into the brain.
Right.
That is
Neuralink.
invasive.
Right.
This is non-invasive. So as it is, there is an implant that is taking care of what you are thinking.
Sure.
This is non-invasive. So probably in the near future, and again in the purview of science fiction, you and I may be talking without saying a word, because you will hear what I'm thinking and I'll hear what you are thinking.
Fantastic. Well, I hope that there is still some time for that to actually come to light, because I'm not sure I want the world to know what I'm thinking. But well, we are talking about wearables, and beyond the cap, there are other wearables too which are making the rounds. And there's a research team at the Education University of Hong Kong that has developed the world's first AI-powered smart vest, designed to enhance focus and classroom behavior in children with ADHD. So caps give sort of, words to your thoughts. And here you're talking about vests that keep you calm, keep you in your place, and don't make you go hyper.
Kartik, from all the products we have talked about, this is, I believe, the most useful. It is
Okay.
meant for ADHD patients.
Right.
So this, once the patient wears it, experiments which have been done between 7 to 12 years of children have been successful to reduce tics and twitching by 54%. So these children who suffer from ADHD can focus more, and their focus over time improves by 10 to 15%. That is what the initial statistics have shown.
Wow.
So this is really useful.
Wow.
So ADHD patients who found it difficult to focus on the task they were doing,
Right.
this vest really helps them.
Concentration is what these vests give you. Well, fantastic. So no doubt, I think among the more useful sort of innovations that we've seen when it comes to AI-powered wearables. But from useful to, let's talk about potentially more useless innovations, should we? And that brings me to another fascinating story which comes from the world of AI, a human bath machine. It was exhibited by Japan's science company at the Kansai Expo at the World Expo late last year. Now, it is to be exhibited next at the specialty store in Tokyo's Toshima Ward. Now, what's more, 40,000 people in Japan have signed up for the experience, a capsule where you enter and turn the faucet. 15 minutes later, you step out washed, rinsed and dried. Well, we have seen videos of AI machines giving you haircuts, but AI making you bathe, do we really need it? I mean, I think it's easy enough to have a bath, isn't it?
No, this one makes it effortless, let's put it simply.
Oh, what effort goes into having a bath, Amit?
No, okay. There are sensors on the bottom of this pod which take in information, and that's where AI kicks in, from the soles of your feet.
Okay.
So what is the temperature your body is most comfortable with is part of its learning. Which parts of your body you respond better to what pressure of a surge of water. Do you feel cold at the first burst of water, and it will heat up according to your body requirements?
Okay.
That's the upside. There is a little bit beyond that, that it is 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters by 1 meter. That's just the bath.
Okay.
So everything else, your wash and your basin and your bog separately. So in case you are willing to convert your bedroom into your bathroom, this may not be for you. Do ask me for the price, because that's my
Go ahead,
part.
spill the beans. How much does one have to shell out?
60 million yen, which is about north of 3.5 crores of rupees, something that you will pay for a Lamborghini Urus. That is their SUV.
Did you mention upwards of 3.3 crore rupees?
3.5 crores of rupees, 60 million yen.
To have a bath, to be more comfortable bathing?
Effortlessly.
Who's going to pay for it? Are you planning to? Well,
I don't think even if I sell all my kidneys and everything, I'll have that kind
well,
of
let us leave it at that. We wonder who has the kind of money to shell out when it comes to these AI gizmos and these gadgets which are doing the round. But for now, let's leave it at that, because we're completely out of time. But I'm sure the world out there is not completely out of ideas. Next week, we'll be back with the AI report with more fascinating stories of the changes that we are seeing in the world of AI and more that are likely to come. Thank you so much for watching.